else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, and shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today, what else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, and shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few can torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Prissy ain't on top of his shit, I beg to differ. Nah, fuck that, I don't beg.
Okay, I kind of stopped that other video prematurely. I wasn't trying to, but it is what it is, you know. But anyway, like I said, I have, you know, the way it is for me is that, you know, like I said, I'm still in love. But I'm gonna take this thing out because I'm getting hot. Okay. My bad. I'll try to. See, I mess with that some. I always have to do that. But anyway, I feel like trying to talk to somebody else, trying to move on, get to know somebody else. It's conflicting. Like I said, it feels like I'm, you know, being unfaithful towards her. Like I said, I know she doesn't feel that way. And while she may tell me she's not talking to anybody, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe her. Just like she probably don't believe anything I say to her. She doesn't trust anything I say. That she feels like I'm just trying to get over on her or something. I don't believe her. I don't believe her about a lot of things. Like, I don't believe that she isn't talking to somebody. I still don't believe that even when she broke up with me that it wasn't because she had met somebody else. I still believe that she did meet somebody, but I felt like she had to really get to know that person or something and then realize whether she wanted to dump me or not. You know? And so that's what she did. Because see, Janae has always been secretive. You know? She gonna be upset with me saying that. But I just have to say how I feel. How I am about this whole thing. You know, she's always been secretive. Like, before we got together, once we got together, and since we broken up. And I get it. Most will say, well, y'all broke up. She don't owe you no explanation. True. But I still feel like, to an extent, she's enjoying this whole thing. She might be like, you know, you need to stop. You're deluding yourself, thinking I'm going to come back to you. But I feel like she's enjoying the whole thing of me chasing after her. She might not say it to me. She might not say it to anyone. But there's a part of her that I feel like kind of revels and delights in the fact that I am trying and failing and flailing all over the fucking place, trying to get her to come back, trying to get her to at least agree to start over. Like I said, we don't have to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Just get to know each other again. I feel like there's a part of her delighting in the fact that I keep saying that. Like, yeah, she turned me down every time. And she even, you know, gets mad at me. But see, the thing is, I don't know how she's looking on the other end. That's the one thing I can say. See, with these videos, you can see the look on my face. You can see how I feel. You can tell whether I'm probably being facetious, you know, or whether I am really coming from the heart with what I say. Now, while I might laugh while I'm saying stuff, I laugh to keep the cry from coming out. I laugh to keep myself sort of level-headed. Like I said in the very first video, Keith said something about I've been being incredibly strong through the whole thing. And while I appreciate that from him, I still feel like I'm very weak. I am hurting. But I guess there's a strength in me hiding it. There's a strength in me wearing a mask right now. But inside, man, it's like apocalypse. It's just happening. My heart, like literally, my actual heart has been killing me ever since last year. And And I've been worried about it because I don't know if it's really just the result of me being depressed or if it's really a health problem. Because, like, I talked to her about that. And I didn't really want to explain to her and say, well, you know what? My heart is hurting because I miss you. I didn't want to say that. You know, she asked me, but she would always ask me, are you depressed? And I used to tell her, yeah, I am. Like, she even asked me once, are you still upset about us? And I feel like maybe I led to her stepping away from me, because she said she had to put distance, boundaries between us. And I feel like those boundaries are simply because she knows I'm still in love with her. She knows that it's hurting me not being together. But it's hurting me even more to have this distance between us. It's hurting me to have her just turn her back on everything. For her to say that she's made up her mind, for her to say that I'm not a positive influence. And I've tried my hardest to be a better person. Like, when she told me she didn't want me ranting to her anymore, I stopped doing it. I found other people to talk to. And for some reason, I think she got upset about that. But I told her, I said, look, I'm not going to stop ranting. I will stop talking to you about it. But there are other people who don't mind, me ranting. There are other people who don't mind hearing me. Like one of the things I talked to Sonya about the other night was I told her, I said, I apologize for rapping all the time on the phone. Because I told her a lot of my exes I know, they always hit a problem with me rapping all the time. And she said that never bothered her. Because she said, when you really want to talk to somebody, you'll talk to them, no matter what they're doing. You'll just be on the phone or just be in their company just because you want to be around them. So, like, she legit enjoyed my company, even if I was just on the phone going over songs and raps I was writing. She liked talking to me that much. She enjoyed the company that I brought her, or whatever you want to say. That she would listen to me tell her the same stories over and over again, and it would never bother her because she said she just liked talking to me. And man, that shit hurt me. Because like I told her, I said, I realized that when I, let her go to pursue Kyra, I realized how big of a mistake I made. But, I don't want Sonya anymore. And I told her that. I said, but I do realize the mistake I made back then. But I told her, I'm happy that she's happy with somebody else. She's the only one of my exes that I'm genuinely happy for. And I told her, I said, she's the only one. Only one that I can say, yo, I'm glad you found somebody. And that regardless of whatever problems they go through, I'm still glad that they can get through them. Because she told me a lot of shit. But I'm glad that they can work through all of that. Because they love each other that much. But see, it's hard to work through something with somebody when the other person is either not in love anymore, or they might still be in love, but they're just still reluctant because of reasons. Like I said, Janae is going to always tell me she's not in love with me anymore. And while I want to believe it, I just don't believe it. I feel like she still is, but the whole thing of her wanting somebody to be there with her, of her wanting a long distance, not wanting a long distance, of her wanting somebody that's right in her city, I feel like that is the reason why she keeps turning me away. But that she's still in love with me. Because, if she really had fell out of love a long time ago, I don't feel like she would have tried to rekindle things in the first place. And like I said, I don't think her, this is me. This is how I feel. This is how I'm perceiving the situation, how I'm seeing everything. Like I said, she'll probably still tell me, you're wrong. I am not in love with you anymore. I don't have any romantic feelings for you. Cool, you can say that. But I'm not going to completely believe it. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. Simply because your actions are opposite of the words you say. Like I said, yeah, right now, she is kind of giving me the silent treatment, radio silence, whatever you want to say. But I still feel like there's a part of her that still cares. Otherwise, she would have just let me go a long time ago. But we keep kind of going through this same cycle and everything. And I'm not trying to, like I told her, it was never my intention to stress her out. It was never my intention to cause any strife. Like, honestly, I still feel like she's overreacting over everything. And that's not to devalue or, make her feelings invalid. Because she's going to feel how she feels, and that's perfectly fine. But from my perspective, I feel like when I say certain things, she overreacts about it. Like, she might say that I have knee-jerk reactions to the things she says, but to me, she has the same type of reaction. She has a knee-jerk reaction just like I do, because she cares. Even if she tells me she don't, she cares. It means something to her on some level, even if it's a real small level, a real tiny level. It means something to her. But the other feelings, the other thoughts, the things that she's already come to a conclusion on in her mind, those are the things that, she's going to cling to. That's what she's going to hang on to. That's what she's going to stick with. That's the direction she's going to go in. And I feel like I said, I feel like her reluctance to try to, restart things really just, like I said, has to do with her not trusting me. And I think, and she told me she got tired of waiting. And I understand that. But I felt like if this really ever meant anything to her, she would have waited as long as it took. So I kind of feel like this is the reason why I'm bitter. One of the reasons. Because I feel like, yeah, I get it. You don't want to wait forever. But I wasn't going to have her wait forever. But she knew the situation I was in when we first got together. She knew my financial situation. She knew that I had all kinds of other issues. Yet, she chose to be with me. Like, she even said that, I wanted to be with you because I wanted you. And I just wanted you for you. I loved you for you. She didn't care if I had money. She just wanted to be with me. And I still feel like there's a part of her that still does. But she's going to fight it. Because she doesn't trust me, enough that I will change. And she doesn't trust me. She doesn't trust that I am changing currently. She also probably doesn't believe that I'm ever going to move up there. Even though I explained to her a lot of the reasons why I was reluctant to do so, why I was reluctant to come see her. It's not that I was cheating. It's not that I didn't find her attractive. None of that. Janae has always been attractive to me. Always been beautiful. That's all I've ever called her. Like, I don't think I ever really said sexy. Well, I have, but it was when there was some certain pictures she took. But regardless, she's always been attractive to me. Inside and out. Even with the petty shit about her. That her being vindictive. Stuff that she do that hurt. She's still always been beautiful to me. She said she's never been perfect. And I get that. But see, the fact that she was imperfect is what made her perfect to me. Her flaws are what made her, beautiful. And I understand that I never showed her that when I should have. That's a huge regret of mine. That I never, really leaned into how much I love her. And I guess what I can really say is that I was afraid. Like I would do it on songs and stuff. But a lot of times when I know she probably wanted me to be romantic and say certain things, do certain things, I was afraid to do it because I felt like if I started doing that stuff, that sooner or later she was going to leave me. And, little did I know, me not doing that shit is what made her leave me. And I wish so much that I could go back in time and undo everything. Undo every bad thing anyway. And make the right steps, the right moves, go in the right direction, say the right things. Like I said, I was young. And I know we can't all blame things on being young, but then there was something Sonya said to me that you're not completely grown, I think she said, until you're 25. But I feel like since I was past 25, I still hadn't grew up. It took me a little bit more. I don't think I really, truly started to grow until I got 29. That's when I really started, I guess thinking about things. Cause like I said, it was 4 years, so 8, 9, 10, wait a minute. So that was 7. That was 7. That was 2017. Like I said, when I was 29. That's when I felt like I really started to grow. You know, when I really started to try to take things more serious and do things differently. But of course, like I said, it was still hard to shake my, bad habits. It was hard to, do exactly what she was asking of me, because I had been doing the same thing for so long. It's not that I didn't want to do it, because I did. I wanted to do, anything she asked me to do, I wanted to do it. But then I was always at a crisis or a crossroads, conflict with myself. Like when she first was telling me to cut Janaea off, I wanted to do it, but then I didn't want to do it because I was like, I'm going to lose a fan, a fan of my music. And that's all I really cared about, which is probably the reason why, Janaea didn't mind, cutting me off. Although she didn't completely cut me off. Like, even when Janae had messaged her, the only thing she said is that I'm not going to say stuff to you on Facebook anymore. I'm just going to inbox you. And that's what she did. She inboxed me. But then it got to a point where that wasn't good enough for her. And eventually, we weren't friends at all anymore. Like, I know Janae didn't know that. And, but Janaea still tried to be friends with me. But like I said, because things weren't going the way she wanted them to go, and because she knew how much I really love, Janae, despite me doing the stuff I was doing, the things that were disrespectful, that's why Janaea stepped away. And in hindsight, I wish I'd have just went on and cut her off anyway when Janae asked me. But instead, I disobeyed her. I went against her, and I made, having fans and my music more important than her. But initially, when we first got together, I did tell her that my career was really important to me, and that if she ever came in between it, I would leave her. However, I regretted that later, and that's why I never did, break up with Janae, simply because I felt like she might have been coming in between me and what I was doing. Instead, I found ways to remedy the situation. When I felt like I wasn't working on enough music, like I should have, or like I normally would, hold on. I gotta, anyway, like I said, when I felt like I wasn't, reaching my optimal output like I used to with music, I realized that maybe it wasn't something that I needed to consistently do. That I didn't need to work on music 24/7, But that's what I used to do. That's what I was used to doing. But I realized I needed to pay more attention to my girlfriend. I needed to spend more time with her. And that's why whenever she wanted to talk, I stopped whatever I was doing. If I was working on a song, I told her, hey, I can work on it later. I'm on the phone with you. That's more important. And, like I said, I regretted that I told her in the beginning that I would leave her if she came in between me and my music, because that was a dumbass thing to say. But I was young, and that's what I was committed to at the time. I was committed to just letting go of anybody that got in the way, that I felt like got in the way. But, to be completely honest, I wouldn't want anybody doing something like that to me. I wouldn't want her cutting me off because she felt like I got in the way of her, in the way of her career. Although I wouldn't expect less, if like I was messing her up at work or something like that. I wouldn't expect anything less. Still, I wouldn't want her to do that to me, though. I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. So, like I said, over the years, I realized that there were things I said I shouldn't have said. There were decisions I made that I shouldn't have made. That I should have, like I said, really did everything she asked me to do. Whatever was in my power to do. Like when she asked me to get rid of Janaea, I should have did it. Instead of thinking about, well, I'm going to lose somebody who likes my music. I shouldn't have looked at it that way. I made having a fan more important than having a girlfriend, when I really should have just been focusing on my girlfriend being one of my biggest fans. That's what I should have been focusing on. But again, like I said, you live and you learn, you grow, you realize that, man, I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that, I shouldn't have said this, I shouldn't have said that. Like, even with what I said the other night to her, like I said, while I wasn't trying to get a reaction out of her, I shouldn't have said what I said. I should have kept that to myself. Now, Sonya has said opposite. She said I shouldn't be trying to silence myself or, mince my words. I should say how I feel. I shouldn't be allowing her to manipulate my, emotions. Because that's what it is feeling like. That my emotions are being manipulated. Yeah, she's telling me that I'm doing things that are upsetting her. But I'm the only one that's hurt. Because she doesn't care. At least that's what she says. She doesn't care. Me being hurt doesn't mean anything to her. If anything, she's probably amused. Like I said, I feel like to an extent she is delighting in all of this stuff. I feel like, I feel like, that hold on. I feel like that maybe this is, like I said, her end game is to just completely destroy me. Like, this is her long plan, her long payback. I feel like she has been plotting this for a long time. She is manipulating the fuck out of me, and I'm falling all into it. But I feel like her whole thing, like I said, her whole end game is to destroy me, to tear me apart. Her whole thing is for me to feel everything she's felt these past 5 years. Because obviously she was really, really hurt. She trusted me. She loved me. And like I said, probably still loves me, but just don't want to say it. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with admitting that you do still love me, but that you don't trust me. That you don't believe I will ever treat you right. It's okay to say that. I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. I'm not trying to tell you what you feel. Because like I said, you could seriously not be in love with me anymore. But if there is a chance that you do still love me and that you do still want to be with me, but that the main thing that's stopping you is not trusting me and the whole long distance thing, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with being honest about that. There's nothing wrong with saying that you've messed up so much that I don't know whether you would ever be right or do right. Because admitting that you're disappointed in how things turned out means that you really wanted this as much as I did. And if you're bitter about that, that's cool. Because I'm bitter too. I'm very bitter. I feel like you're way more bitter than I am. And that's okay. I am not mad at you for being bitter. I'm not mad at you for being upset. I'm not mad at you, because being disappointed is still being upset. Because you wanted something to work. You wanted this to be it. You wanted us to really go the distance, and I did too. But I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah, you made mistakes too. And I'm always going to say, though, that I feel like I made more mistakes than you did. You often tell me, you weren't the only one that fucked up. And I know I wasn't. But, like I always say, you did things in response to what I did. A lot of stuff you did was in retaliation. It was fucked up shit. But it was in retaliation to things I did. And things I said. Things I should have never did. Shit I should have never said. Decisions I should have never made. I just wish that there was some way, somehow, that I could just get through to you. Because, like, I guess I could say the other thing that, hold on. Okay, that's still fine. Kind of moved my phone, I wasn't trying to. Alright. But the one thing I want to say is that, what really made me, I guess feel like, again, like another thing that made me feel like something is still there is the fact that you would watch every video. And, and that you told me you enjoyed watching me. That you feel like I was entertaining to watch. And even if I said something that rubbed you wrong, like I said, you felt like was miscategorizing you or something, or mischaracterizing you, you let me know. And that's why I just feel like if you can let me know that, you can let me know other stuff. I get this, because I see everything, I understand everything. I get that maybe you feel like, hold on. Okay, I think this is my phone. The flash is trying to go out, I guess. But I feel like that, you feel like that you've been telling me stuff for so long, telling me what I need to fix, what I need to do right, and that you're tired of telling me that. I understand that. And I feel like that you're tired of telling me that because you don't trust me to change. Or that I've obviously, like I said, taken too long to change. And I never wanted things to be that way, I've been working on myself, and I'm always going to continue to work on myself. But it would mean everything to me if you just, would be honest and just tell me, hey, these are the things that you have been doing that have made me distance myself from you. These are the things that have gotten on my nerves. These are the things that made me feel uncomfortable with you. These are the things that made me feel like I can't be your friend, or that we can't be friends, period, These are the things that bother me. These are the things that hurt me. These are the things that disappoint me. You can tell me that. I am not going to disregard your feelings. Like, even now, I'm not disregarding your feelings. I'm taking into account what you've said and also what I think the situation may also be. I'm not disregarding your feelings at all. I'm not disregarding the fact that you said that you're no longer in love with me. But I'm holding on to, some hope that you still are, simply because of actions you've made, certain words you've said, things you've done. These are the reasons why I still feel like there's something there. So like I said, I'm most likely wrong. But don't be mad at me for feeling how I feel and for saying that, you're still in love with me when you give me that impression. Or even, like I said, even if you're not in love with me, not even, but like I said, you're not in love with me, but that maybe you do still like me in some kind of way. You still find me physically attractive, but you can't separate, or you can separate, but at the same time, the things you don't like about me personality-wise, are fucking up how you see me, physically. So you probably don't want to see me at all. you know? So you're going to, you know, cut me off, or, you know, like I said, keep distance from me, because maybe the less you see of me, the easier it'll be to get over your physical attraction of me. Because you did tell me last year, and even earlier this year, that you don't think I'm ugly, but you think my personality is ugly. And actually that hurts more. That, you know, yeah, physically you're cute, but, you know, inside you're an ugly person. And that's not what I'm trying to be. That's not what I want to be. But I get that I do have ways that can really make things like that. Or that I've done things in the past that can make me an ugly person. But I definitely didn't want, you know, for you to, you know, ever, you know, hate who I am as a person, or even if you don't hate, but to dislike who I am as a person. I never wanted you to do that. I never wanted things to be that way. I always wanted, you know, for us to get past anything. And like I said, I still have faith that we can. You know, I'm going to always feel this way. There's nothing you could do or say, just like I can't convince you to come back to me. There's nothing you can do or say to get me to get over you, and to, there's nothing you can do or say that would really make me feel like, you know, you're never coming back. Like, even if you end up dating somebody else, I still feel like somewhere down the line, you're going to start noticing things about him and being like, you know, well, there was a way Eddie made me feel, or there were things Eddie did that I really miss. Like right now, of course you don't feel that way, or won't say that. Like I said, you know, you've always been a private person. And I know you've closed off the part of you that, you know, that I worked so hard to get to, but ultimately fucked up, you know, and led to you shutting me out. You've closed off that part of you. But I feel like there are things about me that, like I said, you probably are still attracted to, things you do still respect, that you still admire. But right now it's hard to focus on those things when there are a bunch of things that are piling up that you do dislike. So, you know, I'm gonna end this video here. I guess I'll just do 3, because if I do a 4th one, I'm just gonna keep saying the same shit. So until next time, peace.
What else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few done torn away, I'm in a bad mood. Please don't fuck with me today, what else I gotta do? It ain't too much for me to say, shit I gotta prove. So stay the fuck up out my way, you see they got you dude. And a few done torn away, I'm in a bad mood. I bring, please don't fuck with me today. They say Prissy ain't on top of this shit, I beg to differ.